What's up, y'all? I'm Andy Story with Wild Lumens, and today I'm going to show you the quick and easy way to make a delicious beef arm roast carnivore diet style. So let's dive on in. If you're looking for a way to put your crock pot slow cooker to use, then this is the perfect recipe to do so. Plus, we're going to be using a slice of beef that is usually a little on the cheaper side when compared to steaks like ribeyes or tomahawks or New York strips. So what we're using today is a beef arm roast, and this is actually cut from a quarter cow that was recently given to me as a present by my dad. All we're going to need today, tool-wise, is obviously a crock pot. And as you can see, I have a crock pot here from the early 90s, maybe late 80s, that unfortunately has seen its last days. That's right, it has cracked and is no longer usable. So let's have a little moment of silence for this amazing crock pot that had cooked so many delicious meals in the past. And now, what did I replace it with? Well, another crock pot, which I believe is going to do the job even better because it's a little bit bigger and it's perfect for this size of a roast. So if you guys are out there in the market for a crock pot, you might as well get the big one so that you're able to accommodate a large roast of this size. As far as the other tools go, we're definitely going to need a pan because we're going to be searing the roast ever so slightly just to help with a little bit of the taste. Now, as far as ingredients goes, obviously you need some kind of a roast. This is a beef arm roast. A chuck roast will also work. It's just a different cut, but this today is what I'm working with and it looks fantastic. That's about 3 to 4 pounds of roast. You can do anything from 2 to 4 to even 6 pounds. It just depends on how big of a cut you're getting. Next up, we're gonna need bone broth. I highly advise making your own bone broth if you're able to pick up some bones. It's super easy to make. There's a video in this channel that you can go check out on how to make simple bone broth in your crock pot. Next up is a little bit of pork fat. I'm only using this to help sear, so it's gonna go in the pan and then we're gonna sear with that. And our last ingredient for the carnivore diet style recipe is salt. I totally made a mistake. I forgot to mention that Redmond real salt gives the Wild Lumens viewers and readers over at wildlumens.com up to a 15% discount when you use the coupon code WILD at checkout. So go try that out and save a little money, and at the same time we get a little commission, which helps us out in the channel keep moving forward, so we really appreciate it. Thank you. You're going to need a copious amount of salt because what I did already was coat this roast with salt on every side, and then you're going to want to let this sit and marinate in room temperature for about 30 minutes, which I did 30 minutes ago. If you guys want to add a little bit of flavor and you're being less strict like I am today because I'm cooking for other family members as well, you can go ahead and add other flavorings. Today, I'm only going to be adding a little bit of onion and some Rosemary Sprigs that will help with the taste. Now, if you're a strict carnivore, obviously don't do that. Stick to your carnivore diet protocol, and it's still going to taste good with the bone broth and the salt. Now let's head on over to the oven, sear this bad boy, and then get it ready for the crock pot. All right, guys, we're back from the oven. I forgot to mention, you're probably gonna wanna do each side or sear each side for about 1 to 2 minutes tops, and definitely make sure you got some tongs. It makes it a lot easier than having to use your hands. So another tool that you're gonna need. Now that the searing's out of the way, all we really need to do is plop our roast in the crock pot and then use our broth, or place the broth and submerge it. So that there's about 6 cups, and you want to make sure that the roast is almost all the way submerged. So I just used about 10 to 12 cups of bone broth. Let's say you're running a little low on bone broth, you can always substitute it with some good water, but if not, go ahead and make your own bone broth and stock up on it before you make this recipe. The last thing I'm going to add is these materials that come from the plant kingdom. Put in a little bit of the onion. Some people like to put onion powder or garlic powder in their mixture as well, but today I'm just going to be using this onion and then the rosemary sprigs. So I'm just gonna place the sprigs on top of the meat and then just a couple of them in the broth. And that way we're gonna get some really good taste out of both the meat and the broth. And then finally, once those are all in, I'm just gonna be adding a little bit more salt, probably another couple tablespoons all together, or maybe 1 tablespoon. And there we go, super easy to get it prepared. I'm gonna put the top on, and then I'm gonna let this cook on low for the next 10 hours so that when I wake up tomorrow, it's gonna be perfect and I'll be able to dig into this around lunchtime, in which time I will come back and show you guys the final product and a little taste test to let you know how it tastes. All right guys, day 2. I let this sit for a little over 10 hours in the crock pot on low. And when I woke up this morning, it was a pleasant treat to look at, that's for sure. And another pleasant treat would be if you guys are digging this video and some of the carnivore content that we're creating, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button now. I really appreciate it. It lets us know that we're doing something cool. Now, let's see what this tastes like. It smells fantastic. I'm sure it's even gonna taste better. That's a great tasting roast. It's got a good taste of broth. It has a little fattiness to it. I think you're really gonna dig this. So when you get a chance, go hit up the butcher, pick yourself up a beef arm roast. Get about 3 to 4 pounds, I would say. Put it in the crock pot, make this, and you're gonna have meat, for a couple days at least. I really appreciate y'all watching this video. I'm off to make another one, and I'll see you there. Thanks so much.